We do this club called Optimo in Glasgow, Scotland, and we started that in 1997. We got offered this Sunday night. Sunday night's a notoriously hard night to do something, so we thought this was a great opportunity to start something purely for ourselves and for some of our friends who were maybe a little bit bored with what they were hearing when they went out clubbing. And we did this for like maybe a year and a half, and there would be 70, 80 people there, and it was great. We loved it, but then suddenly it just exploded. And the more we did it, the more we loved it. The people seemed to love it, and we kind of like the other things we were doing kind of fell by the wayside, and this became more or less what we spent all our time doing. The way the night works is the first hour we will just play music that's totally not for it. It could be country and western, it could be classical, it could be like avant-garde noise, it could be like a 50s like torch song or something. And the idea is we just kind of create this atmosphere where people are maybe a bit more sociable in the first hour. Then quite often we'll have a band play from like midnight to 12. That could be like a local band. It could be in the past we've had like Liquid, ESG, LCD Sound System, The Rapture. It could be someone totally unknown that's just given me a demo tape. I mean, I think LCD Sound System and the Rapture are good examples. And again, Franz Ferdinand, simply because they were old friends of ours and lived in Glasgow. A couple of other Glasgow bands that have subsequently become slightly popular, like Sons and Daughters. But when we put on like The Rapture, no one had heard them. They kind of maybe knew House of Jealous Lovers from us playing them, but you could tell that this band was something was gonna happen, because the reaction when they played was just phenomenal. And it's a really good like benchmark for a band. You can tell if they're gonna maybe like cross over a different audience by the reaction they will get in the club, because it's a very discerning audience that comes.
The Rapture played at Optimo, and that was the first time I know before that I DJ'd with them in London. Okay. And we kind of met each other because I was playing sort of the kind of stuff that we were kind of in the same family, but we had never met. We were like very friendly. And then we went to the party, and it was like the most amazing party. I still think it's the best party in the world. And then they came to play my party at APT, which I had for a while. And I'm not sure, you'll have to ask them, but I think it was the first time that someone brought them to me.
These guys bring all these these styles of music together, and they kind of make it, the continuity is so perfect. And they kind of almost give you, in a weird way, a chronological history of, a chronological like history of music while they're DJing. NME covered some of the best clubs in the world, and they covered one of my parties, and then they covered Optimo, and then it kind of snowballed, and then everyone just started talking about them about like 3 years ago. And then now we're big fans.
I know you guys use a computer when you DJ. What programs do you use? How do you do that?
I use Ableton Live. I used to be like a vinyl purist. I was like, only vinyl. I've still never used a CD player in my life. I've got a huge record collection. Part of me was terrified of the idea that like vinyl would disappear. And then, I got a laptop and found this program Ableton Live, which for me personally changed my whole idea of what DJing can be about and what I can do.
A lot of people think Ableton, you can mix anything together. It's all about the preparation, that you can change the context of something or make a weird reference during your DJ set by playing something against something else, and that's really powerful thing.
Any comments on maybe their style of remixing or the quality of them, or
total garbage? I don't know what the hell they're doing, just ripping us off. No, they're great, and also I have I have Mount Gabo tracks that nobody has. Ooh. That Johnny did from the first time I met them, that I play out sometimes on CD that nobody has.
As a DJ, do you ever play any of their remixes out, or is there any stuff that you?
Last night I played 2 of them actually, because they go under, I believe they go under the name of Betty Botox. There's this 2 LP set, and it's jam-packed with like 6 to 8 really great remixes.
My remix is just under the name JD Twitch, and again I've done Sons and Daughters, Franz Ferdinand, Annie, various people.
Going along with the remixes and remixing rock bands like into dance tracks, I mean, I've definitely noticed, I'm sure you have at your club, that a lot more like indie rock kids are getting more into dance music. And
yeah, I think we noticed maybe a lot more when we first started the club, and it was kind of one of the big ideas was to try and get rock kids into dance music and vice versa. There was a lot of like dance kids, because Johnny and I's reputation as like techno DJs. They came to Optimo when it first started. They'd never seen a band before.
Oh, cool.
You know, to them it was kind of revolutionary. So it was kind of this idea of like cross-fertilizing it. But yeah, definitely again in the last couple of years there's been a huge resurgence in kids coming to the club that I think are more coming from a band, and there's been like a huge flood of new bands.
It's really about the music, and as long as it's about the music, I think it'll grow in its own way, and you know, we'll see what happens.